till everyone's done.
That's it, till everyone's done. Dave and that have organised for me to come in to do a guard passing seminar. So before we get into it, I'm just going to give you a few, kind of a bit of a rundown on the way I run the sessions. It's going to be a lot of conceptual stuff. I am going to show you techniques, so don't worry about that. If you don't have specific guard passes, there is going to be techniques included. But a lot of it's going to be concepts and how to kind of get to where you want to be to pass, as opposed to technique A, technique B, technique C, and you walk away, you don't really, like by next week, more often than not, I've been to seminars where I've forgotten my techniques, but I've always kind of remembered like concepts when they spoke about them. And the idea today is take the concepts, and if the techniques that I'm showing maybe from a certain position doesn't quite suit your game, play your passing style and incorporate your own. So if you've got, like, say we're showing getting to the outside position for passing, and you don't really like to play leg drags or high steps or whatever, the important thing is how you're going to get to that position and incorporate it into your passing technique, as opposed to remembering every technique that I show. The idea thing is today is I want you to take away the concepts, and that's going to take you so much further in your jiu-jitsu career than remembering a bunch of techniques. And I got this concept when I was a purple belt from Neil Simkin, and it completely sort of changed my game and how I start looking at passing. And it means now that I don't need to remember high step pass or leg drag pass and all this other like passing techniques. Things will present themselves, and it's all about sort of progressing up the legs. It'll make a lot more sense to you and actually get into the meat and veg of it all. There's going to be lots of games today. Like, not going to be sort of just let's send you off like drilling and fucking staying cold. It's going to be playing with the concepts, and I want you all to make it your own. It's the way I love teaching. Like, I don't want like a room full of replicas. Like when I'm teaching the room, I want everyone to have their own personality, their own little nuances, and their own style of play, but understanding the concepts of what I'm trying to deliver. Because the way I do something may not suit everyone's body type, but if you understand the concept of what we're talking about and what we're trying to achieve, then you can make it work for your body type and your style of play. Because the concepts are all going to be the same across the board. But like I say, the way I play it versus the way Davey plays it and whatnot, it'll be very different. But the concept and the outcome will be the same, if that makes sense. So what we're going to start with is just going to be a bit of a warm-up game. I call this the attachments game. We play this quite regularly at my club. I'm going to set some rules where I want you to try and stick to them. Like, I know sometimes when you get a bit excited, you get a bit giddy, you kind of go, I'm going to do this, and you'll see opportunities when we're playing it. But I want you to try and think about the outcome of the game as opposed to winning the exchange. Okay, winning the exchanges are great, but you're not going to learn as much if you focus solely on winning the exchange. What you'll learn a lot more is if you play the game and take away sort of like the concepts and stuff that we're looking at. Okay, let's borrow you, please, mate. So, I'm going to start off with the starting position, and he's going to have two hooks attached to me here behind my knees. Okay, this is going to be the starting position. Now, my job for this game is I don't even put on my ass. That's it. I'm not trying to progress to a pass. I'm more focusing on staying standing, focusing on my balance, and being able to move around while someone's threatening and attacking me. Okay? For me, one thing that I've really sort of narrowed down is guard players need at least 3 attachments to sweep you. Okay? At the moment, he's got 2 attachments. He tries to sweep me without any more attachments. Go for it. Without any more attachments. It's easy. If I switch to the attachment, so I'll take one leg out and you grab me with your foot, but you can't attach your other leg to me. So I'll stand on the outside, you just grab the ankle, try and sweep me. Now, if I give him his third attachment, so you can get any third attachment. Now, you see my balance gets disrupted straight away. Now, this whole game is for the top player to stop the attachments, okay? I don't want him to have any more than 2 attachments to me. If I can get to 0, fantastic. So again, we're starting here. My job, stay standing and detach. Now, I'm just going to give you a few little pointers as well, especially if you're new to this game. I'm not going to try and detach his knees from my legs. Okay, if I'm starting here moving around, his ankles aren't going to be affected, and he's not going to give these hooks up easy, is he? So rather than sort of playing with the knees, I can use the knees to move his hips around and use that to sort of disconnect the ankle and flip myself out of it. That's a lot of moving. I'm a lazy bastard, me, when I roll. So rather than sticking here, hand to the shin, shove his heel to his arse, step back. Because what we're doing is we're going to the end of the lever. If you go strong there with your leg, mate, like, if you just go strong, I'm not going to be able to push his shin mid-shin. Go strong again. I've got a much better chance there going towards the end of the lever by detaching, and he might not be able to move his heel to his arse, but I can minimise his ability to follow me with ease while I detach myself. And now I'm in a good position, got hold of the ankle, to change my angle to make it difficult for this second leg to attach. So as I continue turning around, he can incorporate his hands with it as well, but now he's got one attachment on one leg, and I'm staying standing. I'm not letting him attach himself to me again. For me, guard passing is all about balance as well, okay? And I know there's going to be low passing, high passing, but we always start standing, don't we? Like, I can't start the round sat in his butterfly guard or sat in his half guard unless he invites me in. So the guard passing exchange starts like this. Or if he's sat up, and we are going to address this shortly, but we're going to get warm first with just this, okay? Now, again, my job, stay standing, get rid of his attachments, okay? So for the bottom player, if you stand up for us, please, mate. You've got free reign, okay? Your job is to get 3 or more attachments, and rather than looking for a sweep, look to off-balance your partner, okay? Because I can work to here, start switching, and if he steps over that, I've lost the attachment on this inside leg. So then I need to start switching back and moving around, maybe going to there, try to find the off-balance. But all I'm trying to do is challenge his balance until I can find all my attachments to get his arse on the floor. He was playing the game fucking great then as well. So, do you understand all the concepts of the game for now? Now, we're all getting warm, so let's play the game rather than win the exchanges for now, okay? Bottom player, play your guard. Like, if you're a spinny guard player, spin around and try and get your attachments and try and put their arse on the floor. If you're not a spinny guard player, play how you would play from bottom, okay? Don't change it up just for the game, like, because it's about developing your game as well, this game. There's no point trying to play a different style of guard if you don't play, like, all spinny and shit, or if you don't play heavy and stuff. So, play the game and look at developing your guard system while you're the bottom player. Top player, develop your detachment of their attachments to you and work on your balance for this and work on your positioning and find where your sweet spots are for standing as well. Now, another little rule I want to put in as well, if you go back to your back, sorry, mate, is I don't want to see this. Detach, right, yeah, you can't fucking sweep me now, can you? It's not going to work that way. Again, we're not going to play the game because you need to get comfortable as well, being in someone's face while they're trying to off-balance you. So as soon as I've detached, I'm staying in and getting back engaged again. Because now I'm shutting down his attachments, and I'll explain this concept here, what I've just done at the moment, but we're trying to progress up the legs in a system rather than just throwing it all to the side and going to the wind, okay? But again, now once I'm in here, I can control his attachments so much easier, and he's under pressure. And also as well, if I've just worked so hard to take him down on his back and I'm trying to pass his guard, I don't want him to stand up. I want to keep the pressure on him, so he's got to keep creating space to try and stand up if he wants to stand up. And if he does create space, he's going to create an opportunity to pass. The more pressure we can put on them, the more flustered they get. Same as vice versa. The more pressure we can put on us, the more flustered we get. Okay? So, like I describe it to my lot as sort of overloading the RAM. So if you've got like a computer, you've got too many software programs and things opening up, shuts down. Your brain does that when you've got so much information coming. And that's the job of the aggressor. Give them so much information that they can't fully process it, and they kind of go, fuck, I don't know what to do. And then that's when your opportunities to get your techniques off are going to go. All right? Any questions so far? Lovely. By the way, I'm not shy about you just putting your hands up and asking questions as I'm talking. I do know I'll talk a lot of waffle sometimes, and I'll go off in little tangents. So feel free to sort of put your hands up or shout up if you've got any questions. Beautiful. Let's partner up. The more variety in body types you can get, the better it's going to be. Okay guys, new body. Let's go again. Try and get as much variety in body types today, okay? Tall, short, stocky, slim, different types. And straight back into it. Yeah. Just always keep remembering, they can't get that third attachment. If they get the third attachment, you need to address it straight away. So just got to ask a really good question regarding like best lever to go push on. I'm just going to address this bit next. So one rule that I found that works all over the body is the smallest joint will always lose the battle. But also I want to be furthest away from the lever that I'm trying to address. So at the moment when we guard passing, the knees are the lever, okay? If I'm pushing mid-shin, so if you've got bring your heel to your ass for a sec, I'm going to try and stop him, extending his leg away. Go for it. I'm not going to fucking win that. But if I go further down towards the instep and push in, I've got more chance there, okay? Now, it's still not perfect. If I grab the foot, and I'm not just grabbing mid-foot here, I'm grabbing the toes, and I'm pushing his toes towards his ass, extend, he ain't going to do it. Works the same for the wrists with the elbows. It works all over the body, this, okay? So the smallest joint is always going to be the weakest link in the chain. And that's the one that we want to be addressing. So when we're trying to grab the legs, initially, his feet are hidden. So I am going to go as low as I can to my knee, just to add a little bit of pressure. I might even use my knee to help me push it in a little bit, to give me a little bit of space, so I can step back. Then I'm going to the foot. Now as he's trying to reattach with his foot, I can guide that so much easier while I'm moving around, just from grabbing hold of his toes, okay? And also people get weirded out by feet. It's jiu-jitsu, get used to it, all right? Grab the foot, fucking send it away from you, all right? And now, this leg is out of commission. It can't be used against me. Unless he finds a way to break this grip. So one way he could do it is by kicking it away with this. Oh, give me the opportunity to step in there now. So we can set little traps as we're moving around to mess up his attachments. Now another, I'd call this like a really main rule, is I saw quite a few of you getting caught with the old dummy sweep here. So one of my kind of like little rule of thumb when I'm passing is I never want to stand with both my feet near the hips. Always trying to play that stagger stance. A means he's got to lengthen his attachments to get to me, which is going to make it weaker. So I can push that down so much easier to detach it. Also, I'm not going to get dummy swept, okay? So again, I'm putting my body in a position where I'm minimizing his attachments. But also, if he's a leg locker, he's only got one target at the moment. And I can sit here and just shut off his attachments down, and it's going to make it more difficult for him. I'm not going to say it's going to stop him completely. It's going to make it more difficult for him to find his attachments for his legs. If he starts transitioning, we can circle around that, and we've got more time because we're in this split stance and we've controlled their attachments. Yeah? So we are going to go back to this game again, just with those little pointers, and see if it makes a difference in how you're playing. Okay? So again, avoiding these, so we're standing square. So as soon as the round starts, stagger your stance straight away. Use your knees to turn in and manipulate their angles of their shins, using your hands, okay? We're going to get deeper into this concept shortly, but unless you've got control of the shins and the feet, you don't progress to the knees, okay? Because if I get here and then I lose control of it and I go straight to this, reattach straight away, okay? Whereas if I can keep this control and I can get out of the way, maybe switch my stance, now I can go to the knees, so I can push his leg away from me. The more he tries to reattach, I can just bypass the hips relatively easy there, okay? So again, it's all about stopping their attachments, and also, we're the top player, we pick what they can attack. So me personally, I know I'm a bit more confident defending leg attacks on my left side, so I'll go in there with my left leg leading. I'm like, take it. I'm just moving around, trying to go for it. I'll just keep playing. I'll play a bit long, so this back leg's out the way. And if I get him to commit all the way to one side, we can spin the other side as well, okay? Have that little bit of freedom in how you play and keep true to your style. Add those little bit of tidbits in there now, okay? So you're not controlling the knees until you've got the feet cleared, and you're also gonna control the feet rather than the shins, all right? And also, big rule, avoid standing square in front of somebody. Just like standing up in wrestling, if you stand square, you're asking for a blast double, all right? Beautiful. I want everyone to try and get like bodies that they don't regularly train with, okay? And if you notice your partner breaking one of the rules, let them know. Maybe punish them with it first with the sweep, and then let them know what they've done with it as well, okay? It's the only way you're gonna make your training partners get better, because the better your training partners get, the better you get, okay? Rising tide rises all ships. Grab your partners and let's go. Feel the difference with that, with those little extra rules? Beautiful. Let's bring it in. We're going to start looking at the concept of climbing the legs and progress. No, actually, we'll start with sitting up, actually. Yeah, sorry. So, me personally, I'd rather pass someone who's on the back, okay? They're a lot more offensive, but also they can get a chance to wrestle up. And if I've taken him down, I don't want him to get back off his ass. I want to keep him there. So, I am not going to give him room to breathe, okay? And it's the same again, where I'm going to be head low, hands like I'm wrestling. So depending on how you wrestle, I tend to wrestle like this. Arms on the lead leg, so I can catch anything that's shooting in. And I'll post with this arm here, so we can't attack this back leg. And I've also got a nice strong stance here. And this is how I'll enter into the guard. Again, I'll play like a T-Rex or a shark, however you want to call it. And I'm coming in. As soon as I get in, I'm putting pressure on his shoulders straight away. Okay, so I'm in and I'm leaning on him. Now, from this point, it's going to be harder for him to scoot towards me to close the distance. And if he does, it's going to be easy to push him back because I'm not letting his shoulders progress. So if his hips come forward, that's there, okay? So you don't often get them trying to scoot forward with this unless they want to dive underneath your legs. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, grab the ankle on the opposite side of the shoulder. So if you're a left arm poster, you're going to grab the right ankle. If you're a right arm poster, going to grab with your left hand, okay? And I'm not going to charge forward into him. Because again, if he's a good guard player, he's good at sweeping and good at getting underneath the legs. If I go forward here, I'm giving him everything he wants, okay? So I'm going to put him on his side. So I'm going to be here, and I'm going to lift this and circle round to here. And I will be a dick sometimes. And because I'm going C-grip on the shoulder, I'm putting my hand on the inside of the throat a little bit, okay? Now, I'm not trying to strangle him or dig my thumb into the throat. It just reduces their likelihood to try and turn him towards me. Because he's gonna choke himself, all right? If I like my training partner, they might just get the false grip, okay? 99% of the time, they're getting the full C grip, all right? Then from here, I'm not gonna dive straight onto the pass and the pin, okay? Reason being, more than likely he's gonna try and square up with me. But we're now in a good passing position, okay? And now if he does decide to scoot his ass back and try and sit up, just on the shoulder, giving him no space. And again, one leg's away from grabbing reach. I like having my leg on the inside for this, okay? Reason being for this one, I do like to shoot straight for knee cuts on these things, okay? But we're not looking at the passing just yet. We're looking at keeping them on their back, all right? So again, if I stand in square for this and start leaning here, he can just reach for my ankles or even with his feet. And now I've got to address this while he's sat up, okay? So I'm going to step out, get the pressure on him, get his ankles up, and start working here and keep this pressure on them, okay? Now, once we get to here, I want you to have your shin underneath their ass, okay? Don't be on the one side, because again, they can scoop, work up from here. We want to keep their hips flat, and I'm on the rib cage or on the shoulder here, okay? Other hand, I'm controlling, not the leg, the attachment, okay? I'm not asked where his knee goes, but I don't want his foot attaching to me, all right? Because now it's my attachment, not his. I've got my second attachment, And I've got my third attachment. He tries to recover. You can see I'm getting into a much better position just by reducing his ability to attach to me. Okay? So, next game we're going to play, your partner's going to try and dummy sweep you. All right? Once they get that, break ball, get back up, go again. My job is I want to put him in his back. All right? So I'm going to be stepping in, controlling the ankle, just trying to get his back here. Okay, guys? Now, if you're finding that they're able to scoot back like that, more often than not, I fucked up. Reason I fucked up is the ankle's not high enough. All right? So as I'm stepping in and I'm here. If his ankle's higher than his head, he ain't going to be able to keep going back in his arms that much longer. All right? Any questions so far? Beautiful. Cheers, mate. So, if you find your partner's able to drag their ass on the floor like a dog with an itchy ass, lift their ankle higher. All right? I always start with the attachments and then work into the levers. Yeah, so we're not going to look at progressing up the legs just yet. I'm just sort of trying to get him onto his back. And again, if I go pushing directly backwards, it's playing into his game. So I'm lifting and making him lean as well, okay? Because then as he squares up, we're in a good position here. My legs are staggered. I've got the lead leg driving into his hip, so it removes this attachment. I'm also going to close this door, because if you can get his foot to his hip, you can get it in and start to sweep me. If I close this door, no attachment there, okay? I call that T-Rex position, okay? You're not going to see me doing the big fucking roar, but anyone who's seen Jurassic Park, T-Rex like this, all right? Any other questions? That answers your question, by the way? Yeah. Beautiful. Lovely. Let's get a new partner. Try and get as much variety today as you can, okay? This one, like, because you are going to come across tricky guard players who know how to kind of like negate all of this stuff. So sometimes we've got to go a bit more aggressive, all right? So with this one, I am going to stand a little bit more square, but I'm not going to be within their reach, okay? Now, the range is something that, it's one of them annoying answers where the more time you spend with it, the easier you're going to find it, okay? Like if you're doing boxing, you're not going to know your jab range within the first 6 weeks. 2 years of doing it, you're going to know just instinctively where your jab range is, okay? And it's one of the same things here where I know here, I can make some sort of contact, but it's going to be difficult for him to make decent contact with me, okay? But I also know that I'm in range of his ankles. So I have to be a little bit squarer for this one because it's going to be a bit of a deadlift, and I'm going to make it sure that his back twats the mat, all right? So we're coming in here. I'm going to step, and I'm here again with my hands. Reason I'm here, if he tries to scoot forward to just get his knees behind my shins, I can shut them down straight away and make some sort of adjustment. And then from there, we're going to whip them up. So if you pull your legs back a bit, so after I'm coming in, I'm going to get in, squatting down and grabbing here. Now it's not just going to be lifting him up. It's almost like I'm trying to whip the legs out from underneath him. So where his arse is, that's where I want his head to be. Where his ankles are, that's where I'm going to pull his arse to, okay? So again, it's not going to be a this. Just going to do it quickly on this one, mate, okay? That kind of thing, okay? I don't want to give them any time to react. And as soon as they get on their back, what's the first thing we're going to look at? Levers, but what's the first attachment? Space, and also their main attachments here with the levers and creating our own space as well. And again, he's got big fucking legs. I'm not going to beat his shins, but I know I'll beat his feet. And then I can start to progress up as I get on the inside, and we can start looking at these kinds of things, okay? We are going to get into the meat and veg of the getting inside shortly, but we want to try and learn how to get into the passing position we want to be in first, okay? So we're going to go and do a little bit of that one now. So if your partner isn't going down with this, create space, distance, and get in. You can go MMA style. shin behind, control the feet. He tries to get up from here. Just keep their feet away from you. He can only use his hands to attach to me. They're not going to be a threat, okay? If he decides you don't like this, he decides to turtle up, chase the hips, get straight to the back. Again, like part of passing is putting them in a position where they don't want to be in and letting them fuck up. Then we can capitalize on their mistakes, okay? So we're going to go back to the same kind of round, trying to get your partner flat on the back, using the last technique, but also incorporating the new technique depending on how they respond, okay? And again, if you've got your own ways to do this, incorporate that into it as well. These are my primary two methods for this. And then when they are sitting up, and like I've got him on his back, and he continues to sit up, as soon as he's halfway up, I'm pushing them down. I'm not letting him get a chance to get more than 45 degrees up. As soon as he's sort of like here, I'm in the shoulder, shoving, and I'm closing that space down. If he creates space with his legs and sits up, I'm not letting him get more than 45 degrees off the mat. And you've got to be aggressive with it, okay? Shoulders, not chest, not sternum. If you don't like your training partner, you can go on the FOD. But shoulders are the strong levers here, okay? The body is a big X. We're going to get control of the hips. We also get control of the shoulders. We don't get much control around the mid bit, okay? So we'll start looking at the body like that as well. Corners, shapes, angles, levers, not just squidgy moving things, all right? Grab a new body, let's go again. If you find an opportunity to get past the hips, take it. Beautiful. But also when I'm rolling or having like with my training partners, I'll exchange ideas, I'll talk to them after the rounds, or I'll guide them through what we're doing, like during the rounds and stuff. And I say it's the only way that you are going to get better. So we've got to the point now, we've got our partner on their back, and they're square here with us. Now, I'm not going to bother with the torso, okay? The torso's not going to affect me unless he grabs my ankles. But I'm in a position now where it's going to be difficult for him to actually get effective attacks with his torso unless he can get some good attachments with his legs. So my first port of call is I'm controlling the ankles and I'm trying to find out where I'm going to go, okay? So we are going to go to each of the positions first, outside, inside, butterfly, just to sort of give you ideas how we're going to get there. The first one is going to be outside position, okay? Now I'm going to here and control the ankles. Until I've got the feet under complete control, I'm not going to progress, okay? And I'm not talking standing here going, okay, I've got the feet under control, and then going to this, and then losing control here. I need to replace my controls or make it useless. So stepping in, controlling here. I might then, because we're going to go to the outside, bring my outside foot here. I can then now take away this hand because my shin is controlling this ankle. Now, I'm not going to be loose with it because you can re-pummel and reattach. So I need to make sure that my shin is going towards his belly button and his heel is going towards his ass. And I'm going to do that just by lowering my base. Nice little thing about this as well is our shins here tend to have less nerves. Your partner's shins around here have more nerves. And we can start to drive that shin pressure in and make them a little bit uncomfortable, which is going to force a reaction. Okay, this reaction that I tend to get from this is a little bit of extension. You bypass the knee. And now, I'm not going to the hips yet. I'll be controlling the knee here. And then I can start to step around, switch my stance, so he's only got access to one leg. I've passed the hips. You can't invert under because I've got control of his legs. And then we can start to back step around and we can enter into little things like this. And again, that's not a specific technique. That's playing with a concept, using the idea, and capitalising opportunities. Now, we are going to get to here. We're going to step in. We're going to get to this point. Now, we're going to look at to get to the leg drag or to sort of like, I call it like a knee pin. So I want to try and get his knees up. They are going to try and reattach this leg. So as he starts moving around, see, as his knee goes a little bit light, I'm not really pushing, I'm guiding the knee over. If I want to go to the hip, I'm moving my shin beyond his thigh. Now I can move my thigh forward. I'm at hip control. The knee's controlled by my thigh. You can't retract it in. I can lower down and go straight to shin on belly. And then I can drop down to a pass, or a lot of the times they scoot away or shrimp away, go in, chest to chest, and we end up there. If you don't like that style of passing, we can get to here, again, guiding the knee, controlling the foot. We can switch to leg drag. Now from this point, I love, okay? I'm not gonna connect my hands straight away, so I wanna make it horrible for them. So I'm not gonna go behind the knees and cradle him. I'm gonna get my forearm right to the ankle, my forearm right to the crown. I'm gonna scoop all the way around.
Fucking hell.
Try and extend. There's no extension there.
Whoa.
So I don't need to join my hands together because we've got the friction of the mat. And he's giving me his back straight away. I'm not a big fan of leg drag passing because they spend too much fucking time trying to go this, that, and the third. Just make them really uncomfortable. They'll turn away, they'll give the back, and we'll get to there. So the first game we're gonna play now, sorry, not the first game, the next game we're gonna play now is we're gonna start with the attachments. And you're just gonna step back and start to get to here and control it. Now, your pathway doesn't have to replicate mine, okay? But your end position should be aiming for that. So even if you decide, okay, I'm gonna stay here, I'm gonna circle round, switch to a double shin grip. And if he starts moving around, trying to get attachments, just run around, got to knee and belly. So the first one we're gonna look at is gonna be getting round to the outside. You can go to straight to side control if you want. Go to your leg drag position, go to shin on belly. Keep it true to your style with the passing technique you use, okay? We are gonna look a bit more detail into that leg drag position shortly, but I want you to sort of use this concept to fit it into your game rather than going, oh, I've got to stick to getting to the leg drag position, or I've got to get to knee on belly. Also, as well, if you don't have a specific pass from this outside, find the opportunities and see what's there. Now, for the bottom players on this, I don't want you to focus on winning the exchange now, okay? Your whole thing is play the game. So you're going to interact how you would normally interact, but you're going to give your partner time to think about what they're doing as well, okay? So if you feel your partner, say, maybe stop in a position, so say what you're doing to me. So as he gets around to the outside, and I see he pauses here because he's like going, okay, it's relatively new. I want to think about what the options are. I'm going to keep my pressure so he knows where the pressure points are. I might keep my attachments, but I'm not going to try and win the exchange and try and regard. I'm going to give him a moment to think about what his next step might be. And once he starts progressing, then I'll start to move. And then make him think if he stops again, give him a little bit of opportunity to think. And then once he completes it, we go again. Now, as your partner gets more confident with this and they get more success, that's when you start to turn up the pressure a little bit, okay? But again, it's not about winning the exchange. It's about providing relevant resistance to your partner so they can learn, okay? We're not rolling yet. Save your energy for King of the Mat, all right? Any questions so far? Beautiful. Let's have a little play with this now, okay? We're going to do 2-minute rounds, if that's all right, Dave. And again, take your time, play with the concept, use the ideas, and don't focus on winning, focus on progressing and getting better with it, okay?
Welcome everybody. We just trying to have some fun, so welcome to the party.
So if you're going to go this way, you're going to then start to try and maybe replace your control point from your hand with your shin. So you can now start to work on the knee. But I'm going to keep this hold of this foot. Now from there, I can then start to use my legs to bypass around, and I can use my knee now to control the rotation of his hips, and I can use my hands to help guide it. And then from there, if it starts to feel him like shrimp away or move around, I can then progress again to get to the hips.
My team is the dopest. Every time we move, we get bottles from the hostess. I was feeling hopeless. Now I'm feeling good. Everybody out here knows. Welcome everybody. We just trying to have some fun, so welcome to the party.
So, just regarding the outside passing as well, once you commit to a side, you don't have to stick to that side, okay? Just as these two, Jets, be able to repeat what you did there. So just as these two were playing, as he gets round to one side, that second leg might come over, but he's still working to the outside and getting round the other way. So again, we're creating opportunities for them to make a mistake and open a door, and we can end up in another position. But this end position is still the same, side control. And what I like about that one is as well, sometimes, once I'm here, they step over, throw that leg around, circle round, I'll pin the ankle, and again, just end up in this position here. Now I'm going to look at this part as well. Who's the least flexible? No, I'm joking. So, going to get into that position. Either we're starting with this, stapling, heavy chest. Behind the knee. We can either work from here, heavy hips to go around, or we can be a bit of a twat, cradle them, keep them there. And those that like Neil Melanson as well, can go knee through, whatever you want. But there are some gnarly submissions from there as well, where I'm not going to do it properly, don't worry. But I can get to this position, floating rib style stuff here, getting into this, drive that shin into the floating rib. Let's make them uncomfortable.
I'm ready to tap.
And then step over. Like, if you make someone uncomfortable, the body goes stiff and rigid, so opportunities will come from there as well. All making sense? Sorry about that, mate.
like my faster release.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. That's it, that'd be a 10 of that. Any other questions, or any questions at all?
When you're going to the cradle, are you going heavy closer towards his hips to start off with and then slowly bringing the pressure up to make it?
It's sort of a bit of both. So I want my torso sort of like pinning the thigh, but I want this here as well. Because if you can swim his underhook in and work from here, he can start to elevate me and get my head high. If I can get here and I'm making that shoulder connection with his armpit, it's going to be more difficult for him to get away. I can start here because I can sit here with the stapled leg. It starts moving. So you don't have to use the cradle or the gnarly pressure stuff. You can use their reactions to get past as well. Any other questions? Beautiful. Let's get a new body and let's go again. That's it. How's that feel? Yeah. Lovely. Keep your chest low. You're going to go into the armpit with that arm and try and get your shoulder into the armpit. So, but go stiff. So don't worry about the cross face. Just think about shutting down a movement. So now if you try and move in there a little bit, see where the opportunity is coming now to get past the hips. Yeah. So you can either be horrible with the cradle, or if you feel her extending through there, you swing your hips around and go chest to chest straight away. Beautiful. Spot on that. If this isn't your passing style, feel free to incorporate your own techniques into the concepts as well, okay? I'll just go underneath the head here and then grab your own fingers now. And just package them that way. But if the arm's low, so like you say, you're trying to like whiz you, swim it out. Yeah. What I tend to do is I'll scoop underneath rather than pushing it, and I just elevate it a little bit, and then your shin will go up to the side of the thigh. There, see how it's turned the hips away? So now you can continue that movement, and then get your chest low, get your staple the leg. Beautiful.
Into the headlock as well.
So that'll depend on how your partner lands. If they land and like try and get like a whizzer on you, and they try and fight for the underhook. So if you can bypass the underhook part, straight away bypass it, yeah. Get a new body. Try and get someone you're not trained with today again. And we're going to work through the same thing with different body types, different concepts, different insights. It's valuable knowledge in the match with your training partners. Utilise them, okay? Beautiful. Spot on that, mate. Okay, everyone. So I'm just going to go into a bit of detail on the anatomy of the cradle, just to give you a bit more of an explanation. Sorry, please again, mate. So if you just sit in like seated up guard. So the cradle is essentially a physio test. Like what we're doing is we're not trying to bring the knee to the chest. We're putting the nervous system under tension. Okay. So actually, we can all do this little test here. So if everyone extends their legs, point your toes away, tuck your chin, reach towards your toes. How does that feel? Now, what we're going to do next is you're going to point your toes to the ceiling and do the same. Do you feel the difference? So that there is your nervous system, and that's your like the burny kind of like different feeling you feel the back of your knees, down your calf. It's a sciatic nerve that. Your nerves run from your base of your skull right the way down to the tips of your toes. Okay? And looking at the anatomy, you can put tension on the nervous system and use it against people. So I'm a bit of a nerd sometimes with things like that. But if you want to stretch your hamstrings, point away, shorten your nervous system or give it more length by giving the neck more nervous system to go, and you'll reach further forward. Try that. That's it. And again, if we go back to toes up, chin tucked, try and reach. That feeling we're trying to recreate in the cradle. Okay. But yeah, it's a bit of, it's not high school anatomy, probably a bit of college anatomy there for you. But what's that?
Nerve flossing. Yeah,
nerve flossing. Yeah, like you can do it with the arms and stuff. But yeah, you can either use it to punish people, or you can, if you've got bad sciatica, flossing the nerves is a really, really, really good remedy. And it will save you a lot of money in the physio's office. Now, I'm going to look next. Sorry, before we get onto that, are there any questions regarding the outside position of this? Do you all understand like how you get in there and what you're doing to get there? Now, we're going to look now at going to the inside position. And again, I'm going to show just a high step pass. It's one that I saw Craig Jones spamming on them months ago and took it into the gym, started playing with it, and it's fucking mint, really easy to use. It's a high pass. But if you prefer different inside passes, so once we've got him on his back, if you prefer sort of different passes from this position, knee cuts and things like that, feel free to drill and work them, okay? If you like the look of this pass and you want to work it, play with it. Okay, but I don't want you to sort of feel like you have to stick to the techniques that I'm showing you. Again, the whole thing about today is the concepts of getting to your passing position, and I'm showing you options from here. Okay, so getting to the inside, it's pretty much the same thing. Control the feet. Now we can't go through the middle just yet, but we can rotate them a little bit. So as he's moving around and trying to go, I'm stepping in deep. Okay. And again, my other foot is out of reach, but I'm not going in on the same side. I'm stepping far across. I'm aiming to get my big toe in line with his belly button because I want to drive my shin into his hamstring, send his knees to his nipples. All right. I say daft shit sometimes as well because you're going to remember it a lot easier. All right. So my analogies will get a bit fucking weird.
It's all right. You've met Dave, yeah?
Oh, yeah. That's where I learned half of them from.
Yours aren't weird enough or criminal enough to be Dave.
Well, now I've got that pass. So once I'm here, I'm going to drive his knees to his nipples and have this pressure here. Reason being, again, back to anatomy. Muscle, when it's being stretched, is nowhere near as strong. Okay? If we can get the muscle in its sort of mid-range, that's where it's strongest. If I try and push his knees here, he's going to have more chance to fight me back. If I've got his muscle stretched in the outer range, it's going to be more difficult for him. Now, if I add my shin and my weight to that, I've got more time to control. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to buy me permanent time and permanent safety here, but it's going to give me more time to be here. Okay. Now, from this point, I've got his knee controlled. This is bypassed, and I've still got the shin. I'm going to step my other leg in to here now, okay? Breaking one of the rules. But if he's got the ankle, I'm not going to step in as close, okay? Because I don't want him to grab hold of it. If he grabs the ankle now and starts to extend, I'm going to fall over. So, once we're here, I'm stepping in. See, I'm hiding my foot. So now if he starts grabbing it, it's fingertips, and I can just pull my heel away to keep it there. Now I'm going to use his knee to destroy his own grip. Pull it out. Now I can come into here, and I'm pinching this. All right? I'm going to go hand into the far armpit, so I'm going across. I've got his hip pinned on this side, shoulder pinned on this side. More often than not, they're here trying to like control and trap my leg as well, so I can't backstep. So I'm going to push the knee again, and all I'm going to do is lift my knee vertically out, okay? I'm avoiding the donkey kick. If I donkey kick, he's going to catch me with this leg, and it's going to cause a scramble. If I push here, and I'm here, step out, and I sit on the shoulder. And I'm stomping nice and wide here. Starts moving around again. We sit into side control the knees, steer him away. Okay? And again, the end position might differ slightly depending on how your opponent reacts. But the steps and the concepts are going to be the same. So again, we're entering in, controlling, stepping in deep, control the knee. Hide the foot behind the hip, hard for him to grab hold of it, push down, clear that. Okay? Again, it might take a bit of a wangle to get out of it, but pushing, knee forward, step away. Now, I'm controlling the hip and the knee. And sometimes as well, if I want to be a bit gnarly with this, I'm going to trap his thigh with this knee. I'm going to use this knee to externally rotate his hip. Okay? So I'm here pinching and doing this. This makes it harder for him to start moving his leg and utilising it. If this leg comes back in, just blocking the knee. And again, I don't want to donkey kick. I'll show you what happens if I donkey kick here and he tries to keep this leg in. He's going to stay attached. I don't want that. It makes my life harder. All right? The vertical step. So imagine you're trying to wade through fucking over big logs or something. I don't know. So I'm here, tap in, and we get into this. Now, having this rudder will really fuck up your partner's plans. Okay? Then all it is, vertical step over, turn and land. Okay? Then we can sit down and drop. But that's just one option from here. Okay? If you like your knee cuts from here, same again. Entering in to shut down the hip. I'm then going to control this ankle, but I want to go to the hips next, okay? Because I've got the knee and I've got the hip. I'm going from the knee to the hip, and I'm going to crush this here. I'm then going to go from this to this. I'm not too bothered personally about this hook on this point, because it heels at his arse. I've got some level of control. Push this. Now, if he's got the foot, he's going to loosen it the same way. I'm going to jump across. Stayed on the inside. Knee cuts there. Okay? And also, bonus one for same position. We've stepped in. We can sit into headquarters straight away. So I can sit here. Now, if you're not comfortable with headquarters, it can feel a bit like an alien position to start off with. Knee in the chest. Like, there's lots of options here. But also, you can fuck me off. You've seen the size of his legs. Kicks me away. I've got to start again. Okay? But there's also opportunity there. Kicks me away. Sit straight through. And again, I'm not fully committing my weight to it. I'm using it to read his reactions. If he doesn't kick me away, pass the knee across, I can go straight into a smash pass. As soon as the knee crosses his chest and my chest, his spine's rotated, his knee's up to his chest, we've took the muscle to the end range already. I can get the crossface, underhook, and I'm going to keep this shoulder down. As he tries to move around, it's not going to be difficult, it's not going to be easy for him. And then all I've got to do, sprawl my hips, mix the knees, scoot in. Okay? Or alternatively, if you want a bit of back exposure, Use your feet to windshield wiper. Circle round. We're here, but I'll keep this. If he tries to turn into me, just make it shit for him. Turns away. Oh yeah, give me that, mate. Straight into the back. Okay? Any questions on that one? Is this sort of a more common position that you tend to find in guard passing? Sorry. Of course I can, mate, yeah. So, the knee cut, as we're stepping in, tell you what, I'll show you the way that I knee cut. So, once I've stepped in, I do go through all these steps again. So I need to control the knees, but now my knee's controlling the knee, I can afford to go to the hip. But I'm not doing flared elbow. My elbow's inside, like a T-Rex, all right? I'm then gonna bypass and come to here. Now, everyone's getting better. Like, everyone knows about underhooks, everyone knows how to fish for them. And it's really common for underhook happening in the knee cut. I play to expect it, because if he underhooks me in the knee cut, where's he going to go next? Front headlock. We play to expect the bad things, because if you counter something that way, somebody else is going to do it. So then, if you know that's going to happen, and it happens to you more often than not, adjust your game and adjust the follow-on steps. There's nothing wrong with the technique. It's just how you're missing the signals for what needs to come next. Okay? Now, if you do want the underhook, you can take your time really slowly with it. So get into here. And again, this step is the key part. And I'm keeping my hand on the hip, elbow tight. If you fish with the elbow back on the inside, that knee on the inside, I'm not going to knee cut. I'm always going to go back up, back to the position, re-pummel. And again, it's all about where I'm controlling. And if his feet start coming back into play, I'm going to have to go back a step. I'm only going back, it's not like a huge step. I'm still passing the guard. I'm just keeping things on my terms. Then I might re-enter again, get back in. And now, because I have this pin on the hip, and he plays a tight elbow with it, I'm going to use my hand like a door wedge, or like any kind of wedge, okay? I'm not going to fish and fight through and fight for this underhook. I'm going to send my arm in a diagonal line up towards his armpit, okay? So I'm not going to fight and try and keep this. I'm just going to swim and work towards my shoulder, getting to his armpit. And again, I'm sat on the hip, my shin's pinning the knee, and we're here. Starts moving around. Sit here, shoulder in armpit, and then I don't tend to bother with this inside arm. He starts pushing it and moving around with it. Just take a gnarly crossface and twat him with it. All right? And now we're past. If you don't get the underhook, here we go for it. They're always going to turtle up. Chin strap straight away. Block the elbow. And attack how you play. Okay? If you like your front headlock attacks and head and arms and stuff like that, go for them. If you like your back attacks, don't sit around here waiting for the back to be exposed. Get your chest attached. And I've come away recently, this is a bit of a sidetrack, from attacking seatbelt grip from turtle, okay? Reason being, if I'm here, lift your ass up, get my hooks in, keep going, try and shake me off. I'm gonna fall off, all right? Get my double unders, get my hooks in, go and twerk and try and shake me off. Go on, Beyonce. Keep going, come on. He's not taking me off. And we can work straight to our seatbelt grip once we've established back control, okay? I know it's a bit of a sidetrack, but it's just another little trend that I'm noticing. Everyone shakes it off from turtle, and a lot of people are playing seatbelt grip still and falling off all the time. Double unders, keep that chest attached, work your hooks in, turn them over or flatten them out, then attack the neck. Any questions so far? Yeah. You just want to see your ass, don't you? So yeah, once I get to, I like my wristwatch grips in this position, and I will get to here, and I'm just going to systematically put my hooks in. I'm not going to rush it. So if I'm on this near side, I'm going to just slide my knee in and attach my heel here. As he starts moving around, that hook goes in. Once I've got the far hook in, near one comes in. Starts moving around again. Just playing. Now, to get him turned over, I'm going to lean and extend the leg. And again, it's not going to happen straight away, but the more he moves, he off balances himself. Then I always go to twist the control, tap the neck, and go from there. Oh, it's a guard passing seminar, so no back control. Okay. But yeah, just a little tidbit there. Any other questions? Let's go and play now. Let's have this inside position, headquarters, knee cut, or high step, or any other pass you play from that inside position, okay? If you don't have a specific pass, let me know and I'll come over and talk you through a bit more detail if you need it, or play what we put out there, all right? Any other questions?
With that, are you keeping that, so in your case, your leadership there buried into his hip?
Yeah.
Pivoting round.
Yeah, so as I'm here, like I'm gonna be controlling the thigh more at the start, and then as I go, I'm trying to go like almost shin on belly just to control the hips. And if I feel them moving around, I will sit here a little bit and then maybe switch. But yeah, like a lot of these concepts as well, there is a huge element of problem solving, especially when you're in rounds. Like your partner's gonna respond differently every single time. And sometimes that can be a bit like, what the fuck's going on? But if we stick to the concept, and as we start stepping in and we're moving around and he recovers, we go, okay, that's not good. But now I'm back to the ankle control. I can then use my knee to control the knee, working around and getting to here. But if he recovers this, I'm going back to the feet again. And I'm working up the legs to get into my position to look for a pass. And again, sometimes the passes will start to just present themselves. Like, if you start trying to extend through this, like use their pressures and what they're trying to push and what they're trying to do to you as a way to create openings for you to get past as well. Because if you put enough pressure on them, they're going to make mistakes, and then that's what you can capitalize on. Okay? Now the last bit we're going to look at, the last position, is going to be jumping into butterfly. Okay? Now again, playing from here, putting him on his back, ankle control. Now, I don't need to worry too much now about the knees, because once I sit into his butterfly guard, I'm going to have the knees controlled. I'm also going to have the hips controlled. It's kind of a bit like a shortcut, this one, okay? But dealing with these can be a pain in the ass. So what I'm going to do is make his heels a pain in his ass. I'm going to shove his heels in. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try and do it with my arms. My hips and my body is going in. I'm on my toes. My elbows are supported by my thighs, and I'm using this to control it. The reason I'm doing this as well is my knees are now near my hips. I can push his feet down, sit forward, sit into his butterfly, okay? Then from here, I'm gonna look at two options to pass again, okay? But if you have other options that you use to pass from this position, you like incorporate it into your game, okay? First one we're gonna look at is gonna be the bodylock pass. This one takes a little bit more detail, a bit more time. So at any point you've got any questions, you want me to repeat steps, please ask me, okay? So first thing I do when I do land in this body lock is I'm clamping elbows and I'm connecting my knees to my elbows, okay? If he's got any distance between his heels and his ass, he can push me away, okay? If I'm here and I'm using my lats to clamp, it's not an arm squeeze, it's elbows and using your lats. If you start trying to extend, different question, okay? Now, I've got to try and clear his hooks because that's the most dangerous part and they're his attachments. But if I'm backstepping here and off balancing, he's going to sweep me and he's going to win that exchange. So, I need to get my hips to the floor to kill the hook. So, I tend to go knee more to the middle and I'm sprawling down. The reason for that is I'm pinning his heel to the mat with my hip. He can't follow me. I'm then going to walk my hips away. And then I'm going to bring my knee to my ankle. Shelf the leg. Of course, mate. Yeah, come round and make sure you can see what I'm doing.
The problem I always have with this is with one leg is like him.
Yeah.
They just follow you no matter where you go. You go home and he's hooks there.
Yeah. It's fucking nightmare. So like, I'm not trying to go here with it because you can follow me. I'm going, so I'm using my hip to pin it and I'm squeezing my ass as well. And then I'm not trying to lift off this, I'm keeping it pinned, scraping off. And then I'm gonna bring my knee to my heel and I'm scooping up this here. If I don't crush that and like get it glued to the mat, he's gonna recover it every time. And I need to get this shelf position. I don't wanna go into half guard. That's a whole battle I can't be arsed with sometimes. This is gonna win me more exchanges, okay? So once we are here, it's still important we have our elbow clamp, okay? Now the next step is getting past this. Now, pick the long levers on purpose because if I just do that, turn me over, I've got no balance. So I've got to turn the corner. So I'm not just gonna away from his body because now I've got less of a connection to his hip and I'm stretching my connections out. So if he shrimps out here, I can't control that. But if I do a handbrake turn, my elbow's not changed. Just give me a better angle to open up, cap. Now I'm not just trying to capture it and pinch it, I'm bringing my knee over the knee and I'm going to bring it towards his hip. And then I'm going to put my knee into that space of the hip and I'm clamping. So I've got his hip rotated and I've taken away the space again and the ability to extend. If he extends here, it's not as weak, it's not as strong. If I add in my clamp and my body weight and my chest to chest pressure, starts trying to move away. What I do is use that, go back to the hips and then climb up to chest, okay? Or we can go cross, back step, scoop, and end up there, okay? Just a little thing as well with regarding to get to side control. Like, if you know you've got somebody who's a very good guard recoverer, especially when you start jumping towards and creating space to get to the crossface, secure these first, okay? You've passed the hips, you've done the hard part, you don't want to do it again. So if I get to this point, I'm still in side control and I'm still passed. And now I can use shoulder pressure in the rib cage. You start moving, mate. Smear myself up like butter on toast, all right? I'm not trying to lift myself off to get the space. I'm taking the space away, okay? Once my chest is connected to those hips, they aren't gonna leave the torso until I get to where I want, okay? Now, in that time, other opportunities may create. I've had it where once I've got to here, I started climbing up with the shoulder. Jump straight into your S grips, start attacking other things as well. Okay, let's say create pressure, create discomfort, create opportunities. All right, so again, from the very beginning, we've got in, flatten him out, and we're controlling the ankles. If they're one of those fucking wild fuckers that are constantly swimming the legs, take the knees, then go down to the shins. Okay, it's the safest way to find the shins. Okay, once we're there, we're moving our body in to control these hooks. I'm not going elbows away and jumping. I'm going dick in, straight in, okay? Once I'm chest into his hips, clamping, elbows to knees, listening to the chest. I don't want him to create separation with my chin from his torso. This is how he will recover. If I can clear that, keep my head down, start trying to get underneath my face. Uncle Fester. If you can't find a pathway to your chin, there's no chin there. If I leave my neck up, it's going to take the chin every time. Okay? Uncle Fester will save you from guillotines, snap downs, collar ties, getting your face pushed away. Uncle Fester's a good uncle. Right? He's the creepy one, but he's a sound uncle. All right?
How long was the creepy uncle?
So, once we get into here, the ankle festering, we're now going to clear the hook. We're going to sprawl, okay? But we're not going to send our leg back and leave loads of space. We're pushing our hip forward and our knees moving backwards to make room for it. Does that make sense? So I'm not going here and trying to get my hip down. I'm pushing my hip in and my knees making room for me, all right? All while I'm doing this, I'm keeping nice and tight. I'm gonna bring my leg off it and scrape the hook off me. Bring my knee right to his arse and secure here. Again, this still isn't entirely secure, especially when you've got guys with legs like this, all right? You can push me head away, shrimp away, make my life a bit difficult. So this is why I'm trying to keep as many connections and attachments to them as possible. And here, I'm being like an elephant's foot rather than trying to be like a stiletto kind of pressure, all right? So I'm crushing and holding. If the handbrake turn doesn't feel right for you, you can also move the knee that's on the inside to the opposite arse cheek. Now I can also bring my other knee, the outside knee, forward to create the same effect. I'm then going to step up and over, but I'm not trying to go over the leg. The leg's under enough pressure. As soon as I move my leg out of the way, it falls into that gap. And I'm trapping it with my knee, going up to the hip, pinching. I want this rotation here, okay? If I'm clamping like this, it'll work, but it's not going to be as effective. If I clamp him like this, especially with legs like this, it's going to be difficult for him to push me away. And then I have my chest pressure, shoulder pressure as well. We always forget about this. It's right near the sternum. Be a twat. Right, start to create a bit of different, and then we can go back.
Fuck off, Steve.
Can we see that? I think you see that.
Oh yeah, let's go again. So like I said, we've got the options to back step as they're pushing. We've got the options to sort of drop back and scoop the legs back. We've also got the option to, again, fester, and our shoulders right where they want to be. If we're on the stomach, same again. We just lift and turn. I'm not trying to go super high with my ass. I'm going stiletto pressure into my shoulder and rotating. If you know what, I'm bringing the knees with me. So then I can start to drag, come back, and get to here. And then we progress up to chest, okay? Any questions on that one? Before I show the other pass, let's all get some reps of this, okay? Yes, of course, mate. So, the handbrake turn is once I've shelved the leg, and I want to turn the corner rather than going sort of like here. Like when I first started doing this pass, I'd create loads of space, and this would happen every time. It's fucking annoying. So I'm either going outside knee to opposite arse cheek, and then I'm using this leg to push it in, or doing it in one motion. So I'm just like doing a sharp turn and turning on like a 5p piece, rather than trying to turn on like a massive circle. And then from there, we can just make sure, and also as well, that there will be some steps that you'll have personally for your own nuances to readjust for your balance, okay? So you'll notice, I don't mention it, but I'll do a little adjustment here. So I'm Frodo sometimes, I've got tiny limbs, so I can get this to here and here. If you don't need that, that's fine. And then again, shoulder pressure to bypass, so we can just release the pressure and they'll kick out, okay? What we might do for the first one, because I know there's a lot of steps and a lot of details in this, we'll talk through the first rep, and then I'll give you time to practice it with each other. All right? Okay, so we'll sit in the butterfly guard for the start of it. Elbows to knees. Clamp using your lats. If you don't know how to use your lats, remember the lat pull down machine or bicep pose. Use them to control the hips, okay? Now what you're gonna do is adjust for your base and sprawl one leg, your hip, into their legs. If you go back and they can follow you, you've left too much space. Push your hip forward and your hips are gonna pin the ankle. And then you're gonna walk your leg across to your other ankle, get your knee to your ankle, and then shelf the leg. And then from there, we're going to handbrake turn around the corner. So it's either inside knee to opposite arse cheek, or the knee goes forward. And then you're going to lift your outside knee up to allow their knee to drop. Other knee. So before you go back, step there, mate. Yes, that's exactly right. So you're going to step the outside knee up. You're going to bring your knee to their hips. You're going to go over the top of his knee. That's it. And from there, you're going to pinch. And then from that point, finish how you want to finish. Whether you want to drive your shoulder in, back step, wait for the pressure, secure the hips, then take the cross face. Oh, that looks gnarly, that. Beautiful. Okay, guys, keep going rep for rep on these, okay? Into like this headquarters here, and I'll play this. And when I feel them trying to elevate me a little bit, I'll play that. And all I'm doing is I'm basing above their hands, kicking and sliding my shin up his knee, to kick his knee over, and then I land on the hip, and then it's a back step to go. He can do, so if I feel him kicking me, yeah, that's when I'll go for it. Please, mate, again. Now, again, we're entering butterfly the same way. Now, when I first got taught this pass, I got shown hands on the floor, head down, and you're jumping over. Issue with that is, I've got zero control of his hips, okay? So, if I do the old way that I got taught, head hopping over, he can follow me, and it makes it a little more difficult. Whereas, we tie the hips up, we put a lot more pressure in their stomach with our shoulder. We also get nice control of the hips. There's a little detail that I use with my elbow, once I tie my hands, just turning it in to turn his knee away. So I'm here, and again, I'm not trying to like go super high or anything, I'm just tying my hands underneath his ass. My head's going down as normal, and we can either go overshoot it and land in the air like a bridge, or we can land in side control, okay? So from here, my head up, catch, and then I'm running back, ending up here, okay? Well, if you notice with my left elbow, what I'm doing to try and cap this leg, okay? So, and then I'm running back to the hips. Now, if you like to be a bit flashier with it, we can go and overshoot it. Kind of like the wrestler's bridges, okay? So I'm here, catching, here, but I'm lifting and bringing his hips with me. And then turning back. Then we go back to controlling the hips, smearing up, getting chest to chest, okay? Like I said, these are options from butterfly. You don't have to stick to these. But we'll get a few reps of these. Any questions? Anybody see it again? Sorry. So, yes.
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
So yeah, my top of my head doesn't often hit the mat. So my base is through my shoulder in the belly. Okay. Try and get to the belly button, and really just sort of mess with the soft part of the body. Okay. So I'm tying the arms.
It's how you look way too up. So I want to see it again.
What I like about it as well is the pressure that goes through the stomach, and I'm lifting the hips up as well to kind of amplify that a little bit. All right. So I'm here.
You're fucking.
We're at the hips now. And then I'm gonna go smear and then work up. Make sense? Lovely. Let's get a few reps of that. Looks cool as fucking Instagram as well. So have a few goals, then we're gonna do some rounds after this, okay? We're gonna play some guard passing specific games and rounds. Let's go for it. Cheers, mate.
Like, if you want to make it look flashy, it already looks flashy.
It's essentially a forward roll over the opposite shoulder, and then as you get more comfortable with it, you just do a bigger kick, get your legs higher, and then land in the bridge, or go headstand and rotate in the air. Like, there's other ways you can play it. There is a way that you can defend this and really fuck someone's game up. Fuck it, I'll show you. Borrow you, please, mate. I don't normally like doing this, but the guy that kept doing this to me, I was like, when he showed me what he was doing, it just mind blowing. But if you go to that position, mate, start passing. So as soon as he starts going for it, under the head, pass the head over your hips, because it allows me to get away. That reaction there was happening to me every time I was trying this. He was a black belt in Mjolnir, and he just kept absolutely just destroying me with it. And then he gave me those extra details, made it tighter, but that defense still worked lovely. Yeah, we're now going to play some games of guard passing where you're going to put everything together, okay? If you play inside, outside, butterfly, merge this and like get this into your game, okay? If you don't have any, like if you play different passes typically, and you can sort of see where this fits into your passes, work towards your passes using the concepts of climbing the ladder, get into position, and then completing your pass. If you don't really have any other passes, play with these. And again, your partner's going to work resistance to your success rate. If you're getting less success, less resistance. If you're getting more success, more resistance. Otherwise, you're not going to learn the concepts. You're not going to be able to piece everything together. And also as well, you will find yourself in different positions. Don't worry about it. Problem solve. We're all grown-ups, we all know how to do maths, we all know how to do, like, we've all done exams and shit with school, unfortunately. He's still got them coming, but we've got to, like, jiu-jitsu is problem solving. If you got shown a guillotine, and then you go into your round and do it, you've still got to figure out how to do it on a resisting body, and you've still got to figure out your many setups, okay? It's no different with guard passing. It's no different with anything else. The problem solving aspect for me is the beauty part of it, because you're always going to come with new problems, and the better you come up solving problems, the better your jiu-jitsu is going to get. And then from there, you tie in the concepts and stuff, it just becomes a lot more enjoyable, and it opens your world and mind up to a lot more techniques. Like during these guard passing games we're going to play next, you might find opportunities to pass the guard with guard passes that you might necessarily play, but because you're playing the concepts rather than the passes, you're gonna find ways there that might be new pathways for you, okay? And one thing I will do when I do train is, if I find a new pathway that I like, I will try and replicate it. I will try and repeat it. I will try and see what conditions I need to create to get back to that pathway. And then once I've done that, I'll go to the next one. I'll go to the next one. And it's just an ongoing cycle of, oh, I like that. I need to try and replicate it. I need to try and replicate the conditions. I need to try and create new conditions. I need to try and find new ways to get there. And then I've got 1,000 ways to get to one place, rather than 1,000 techniques and no ways to get there. It's like the old Bruce Lee thing. Fear the man that does one kick 1,000 times, not the man that does 1,000 different kicks. All right? Lovely. Let's grab a body, find a space, get some water if you need it. Top player, Play the concepts, pass the guard, get to chest before you reset. Bottom players, increase your resistance as your partner gets more success.
You ain't on my level, then shoot, I can't die. 똑같은 질투 더 높이 올라와. 공기도 달라, so high. I don't see you, you talking this. Yeah, I kill it. Mean I spit like a villain. Bra-ta-ta, ay.
It's getting boring. No momentum.
Are you all like starting to like remember the key parts of the information and the concepts?
For me personally, rather than just like steamrolling trying to smash through a guard, if you get so far and it's not working, it is okay to come back.
Oh, 100%.
That's the step movement like you see.
Yeah, and there's like I said, there's nothing wrong in coming out. It was when Dennis was over fighting against Craig Jones years ago on Grapple Fest. Was training with him for a while, and any time I try and engage with him on the legs, he just shut it down, back off, come back in, start passing again. Anytime I'd engage the legs again, shut it down, back off, come back in again. After the round, I was like, you're facing Craig Jones, why aren't you like fucking engaging the legs a little bit? I was, oh no, I know enough to get out and stay safe, but I'm going to engage on my terms. And it's like, if I'm not happy with the grips that you've got on me, I'm not playing your game. This is my game. So I'm going to back off, re-establish myself, come back in on my terms, and start again. If it keeps happening, I'll be coming back out again, back in again. Might as well get a revolving door if I don't like the grips. But if you're not happy with the attachments and the connections that you've got or that your partner's got, if you can, shut them down, get out, come back in. And this whole concept as well works great with leg attacks. Leg lockers, huge.
Anybody?
So like, you just go into any of your general setups. So what's the running theme here with how he's entered this and how he's holding position? But he's also got his feet attached to me. This is where he's getting his leg attacks from, because it's the control points. He can't attack my foot and break my foot if he can't control me. Now for this position, his main attachment is this. As soon as I strip that off, it's gone. And then as soon as I address second attachment, there's no leg attack. So again, I can stop their feet from attaching to me, and it's going to shut down their leg entries. So I'm just going to play a little game. You're going to try and find your leg entries, and I'm just going to shut your feet down. Ready? Go for it. Just shutting the feet down. Even if he's got hold of my foot, he can't attach to my leg. And it's the whole concept of guard passing again, but with defending leg attacks. And the way that I look at leg attacks is, spot you again, mate, if I put you in the saddle, is it's not a saddle, it's a knot. And for me to be able to get out of this position, to understand this position, I need to undo the knot. So that's going to make it easier than going, oh, I need to remember this specific leg escape, or this specific like attack, or this specific control. I'm either tying knots or undoing knots. So from here, like a typical escape might be to rotate it out and turn everything out and then run away this way. If you put me in the position, if you put me in the position, in the saddle. So yeah, his knot is here. Under the knot. I'm safe. I know I've oversimplified it there, but that's the idea of it. And that might not always fucking work. Like I might have to do a bit more work where I do hide the heel, and then I do start to step out to here, and then I get my knee line free and then move around. But it's the same idea of I'm untying the knot to then get free. So again, it's just playing with the concepts rather than going, shit, I need to get out of this position and he's going to rip my leg off, da 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 da. Well, he's got control, attachments, and he's tied your leg in knots. So why aren't we untying the knots rather than trying to remember specific techniques? Same thing with side control, chest to chest pressure. Side control escapes, we all remember them, we're sick of drilling them, we're sick of doing them. But we're creating space from our partner's chest and our chest. We're trying to detach them from us. Mount, we detach their hips from our hips. Back control, we've got to detach our hips and our back from their chest and hips. It's all the same concept. And then you reverse it. If we're attacking the legs, we're tying knots on the legs, getting the control, then finding the finish. If we're attacking the back, we're attaching our chest to their shoulder blades, we're getting our hips to their hips, we're attaching our hooks, our seatbelt grips, and then we're attacking from there. It's all about attachments and having better attachments, stronger attachments, than worrying about specific techniques, specific escapes, specific entries, because that kind of, for me, muddies the water. Especially I am shockingly bad at remembering names of techniques. I will call things as I see them. Yeah, you won't hear me going, this is a ashigarami, inverted, blah, blah, whatever John Danaher says. Like, I'm just going to say, like, single leg X, because I've always called it that, I've always been told that. I just call this crossing the leg because I'm on the outside of the leg. I know it's outside ashi, but if you're 6 weeks in, you're not going to know outside ashi, are you? You're going to know that I'm crossing the ankles on the outside of the legs. Keep it simple for yourselves. Simplify things for yourselves, and it will make the game open up so much more. Where if you look at it as attachments, controls, limb isolation, limb extension, like everyone calls that an armbar. It's just a hyperextension of the elbow. That's just shoulder rotation. You don't have to remember if it's a Kimura or Americana or whatever you want to call it. Rear naked, it's a strangle. Guillotine, strangle. It's all the same shit. We just have to complicate things for ourselves. Any questions before we get into a couple more of these guard passing rounds? Beautiful. Grab someone you've not trained with yet, and we're going to get going again. Hope you all enjoyed that. Took something away from it. Now, like I said, it's a long time and there's a lot of information to try and take in. And like I say, I've been to a lot of seminars and I barely remember a thing about a lot of them. But I always try and take away like one or two concepts that really stand out to me. And if there's more concepts that stand out to you, or like analogies, this is why I tried like throwing some shit in like Dave throws in, it'll stick in your mind a bit more. And also having playing the games and applying it and sort of seeing that, I hope you sort of found ways where you can fix this into your game and sort of understand it a bit better, especially getting a bit physical with it. For me though, like the main takeaways that I wanted you guys to have from this was the whole concept of climbing the legs like a ladder and forcing your partner to create opportunities for you. And then you can fit your passes in and around that. But a lot of the times it's start at the ankles, work up, I've got control of them. I can now transfer control to something else, and then I can move up to the knees. Once I've got the knees under control, I can then transfer control to something else, and then move up to the hips. The torso, as I hope you all noticed today, doesn't really affect how you pass the guard if they're on their back. And from there, we can then also focus on the attachments that the guard player is going to get, shutting the attachments down, and getting the better attachments yourself. So if they're trying to use their feet a lot to reattach, you grabbing their toes is going to shut down their ability to attach with their foot. And you've got the dominant attachment there. It's exactly the same as like with wrestling and other positions. It's just having the better grips, better control points, better attachments, and then also knowing how to either one-up your partner's attachment or stripping their attachment and then getting your own back. Just remember the ladder concept. That's what's really sort of stuck with me. But if the ladders don't like resonate with you, try and find your own analogy of going through the steps of the process. Like if you got, like the reason that the ladder one made sense for me is I spent years as a window cleaner. So I was up and down ladders for years. So it really stuck with me. But if you can find one that works for you and your life and your like job or controls, your job or your hobbies or things you enjoy, then attach that analogy to it instead, and that'll sink into your brain a lot more. It's like if you've got gamers in here, like going to the, I don't play that, I do play a lot of games to be fair, but like starting off and grabbing the ankles is the tutorial. Working up towards the knees is kind of getting past them. Like I play a lot of Skyrim, so I'm first 1 to 10 levels. And then getting to the hips is like, okay, I got my first dragon shout. And then getting to the chest is like, yeah, I'm level 100, I'm murking everyone. Like, add your own analogies and put it in. Like if you're, I don't know, builder, got foundation, and that's my extent of my building knowledge there, but but you know what I'm trying to get to there. Like add your own analogies and build on it and remember how you're gonna do it. Beautiful. Thank you guys. Nice one, mate. Thank you. Oh yeah, let's get a quick photo as well, guys.